You have zero control of your unconscious. Zero. You can't tell it what to do. You can't control it. But it listens to everything.
When negative things do come up, if you're consuming good, positive shit, when negative things come up, you can handle it a lot better. You're more resilient to those problems that come up because of how your train of thought is.
53% of what we do is habitual.
I would have thought it's more than that.
A large portion, regardless of what you do, is habitual.
George, you need to go through these difficult things in your life because it's going to build the character that you need in your life to have those things that you want.
We need to be doing shit now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, this is now. It's now or never. Do you know what I mean? Because the next thing you know, you're going to be old and 40. This is the prime time of our lives.
I love the fact that when we say shit and it comes to fruition, you know?
Yeah, like
when
what?
you actually do stuff. Like we have recently moved office to a bigger premises. All right? Well, where I was in Port Melbourne. You were sharing office in somewhere, South Melbourne, South Bank.
South Bank.
And we're like at the start of the, it was probably about mid-year, a third of the way through, somewhere there. You're like, hey, we should get an office. My fucking oath, we should get an office. And went out, put it out there, had a couple of looks. We looked at a couple of offices and spaces. And there was probably a couple of times where we nearly pulled the trigger. Like, yep, let's do it. Let's go. Come on. And it just didn't come to fruition. Didn't have a good gut feel. And then literally one came up late last year. And I looked at it, said, that's sick. Negotiated the price where it needed to be. Bang. Pulled the trigger. And we are now residents in Albert Park.
I don't fuck around.
Don't fuck around. Yeah. And
I was go for all three offices.
I know.
Yeah,
let's do it every time. Every time. And then I pulled out.
I didn't even see this one.
Yeah, you hadn't.
I was like, cool, let's
until
just
after we agreed. So it's cool for that one little thing. And then you look at the other stuff that we've done. I mean, this podcast is a consequence of that as well, a similar conversation. Hey, we should do a podcast. And then 3 months later, podcast was on.
Living proof.
We should do events. Bang. Ran events. And they've been doing them for a couple of years since. And it's just cool. It's not just an idea. We've executed.
Yeah. And also, if you haven't come to an event, what are you doing?
Oh, guys,
what are you doing?
Do you not want to be entertained?
Yeah. Do you not want to learn and grow and develop
it's
just be knocked out the park?
It's the podcast, but live.
In person.
Like, it's in person. We still abuse you. We still abuse each other. Like, it is fun. And you walk out of that room wanting to change your life.
Yeah. And there's one coming up next month in Melbourne. And if you're a resident of Adelaide, we'll be popping into Adelaide for the first time, mid to late February.
Yep, first time
Dates
in Adelaide.
are confirmed, but you have to check the site because I don't know them off the top of my head.
Yep. Go to the Builder Elite website.
Go to the Builder Elite website.
And then you'll click a link somewhere there that'll show you what events are going on.
Do some stuff.
Just figure it out.
Yeah, if you can't work this out,
then you're not welcome.
Yeah.
You can't come. Actually, you need to come even more so.
If you can't
send
register,
me a fax and I'll send it back to you.
It's like that person who couldn't register, and I was like, we don't want them.
Yeah, that's right.
Tell them they can't come.
No, tell them they can't
you
get
can't
there.
work out if you're
But in all seriousness, yeah, absolutely. If you are a builder or a construction professional, you're a trade, you should be getting to those events because it is sick. We will teach you some awesome shit that you can actually, that's the other cool thing about what we do. You can actually take the stuff we teach you even at a single day event and implement and have significant change. I once had one guy come up to me.
Gold nuggets.
Yeah. He came up to me and goes, I just did that one thing you told me at a Builder Summit and I made $50,000. I'm like, can you put that on fucking camera?
Can you put that in my bank account?
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean?
So that was pumped. That was cool. But yeah, I love how we're saying stuff and it's coming to fruition because it's not just wishing it, hoping it. Oh yeah, that would be nice one day. We're like, no, fuck, let's go. And correct me if I'm wrong. We're spending a lot more money being in this office now, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're going to have a dedicated podcast studio. Yeah?
Sick.
How sick. Can't wait to get that neon sign. Don't touch me, I'm casting. I'm going to turn it on every time we get in.
That's going to be cool. Mm-hmm. I can't wait for that to all be sorted. But also, we just making shit happen, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, time is fleeting, time is passing out, and I try to remind myself all the time, still doing the sticky notes. You saw it the other day.
Yeah, pretty cool.
You came over and you saw it. It's like there's a whole bunch there now, and it's like it's a countdown week by week. And it's like, if you're not making moves now, what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing? Dude, I had someone reach out to me the other day, like, hey, this is a prime time of our lives. Like, we need to be doing shit now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, this is now. It's now or never. Do you know what I mean? Because the next thing you know, you're going to be old and 40.
Fuck, got me. I was waiting for old and like 80, and it's like, no, old and 40, you're fucked. It's going to happen. It's going to happen to all of you.
No, but dude, before you know it, you're 40, then you're 50, then you're 60, and then you're like, oh, I can't do that thing because my body can't take it anymore. I can't, you know what I mean? And it's like, fucking go now, man. Go, and do something in your life to create urgency around that. But yeah, we're making moves.
Do you know what the other thing is as well? And I was saying this to someone, I don't know when or who or what, but it forces you to level up too. Because now you've got, like even for myself, I've got a GM in the business, I've got a new office. There's additional costs there that need to be covered. Like I can't just be like, oh no, I'll just go back and play like I played in 2023.
I think it also elevates, this is how I feel about it. I feel like it now elevates what we have to do.
Yeah.
Because now it's all of a sudden, you know what I mean? People pull up, there's an office, Albert Park.
Yeah.
It's a good looking office at the front too.
Oh, it's great.
It's a nice building, yeah.
It's a
good looking
prestige.
building.
It's one of the nicest suburbs in the country.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what
like
I mean?
you look at it,
Bayside
it's cool.
suburb,
Got a cool
Grand Prix around the corner.
Yeah,
Like, we are not fucking around.
It's like, cool, next level.
Yeah, next level.
Let's fucking go.
And you know, it's funny. And what I loved about this, right? We had the lease signed, and it's like, oh, okay, so we're going to 5 + 5, for example, year lease term. And something you said is like, well, in 5 years' time, we need to move office. Like, why? Because we fucking outgrow it.
Yeah.
Like, well, I'm not going to be here for 10 years. We're going to outgrow this.
My reservation was, what if we outgrow it in less than 5?
That's right.
That's what was my concern.
But I'm like, yeah, good problem.
Yeah,
good problem.
great
If you're
fucking
going to
problem.
move, if you need to move because you need to employ 30 people and you need to go find a whole level somewhere,
That's going to be sick.
it's going to be top stock. I'm gonna be like Steve Jobs and just walk in and fire people. I want them to be scared when I walk in.
I'm going to tape it. This is what happens.
Or Entourage,
gonna
just
be
go
good.
in there and shoot everyone.
It's going to be really
But
good content.
Think about great content. But think about that level that you're going to be playing at. If you have to go out and hire 20 people, are you really going to be concerned about, we're going to pay out our lease of $120,000? No. Might even just have it as a spare office.
Yeah.
Like whenever you're bored, just go in there and work. Just you want some quiet time.
Just for the street signage.
Yeah.
Just so people.
That's it. 2 locations.
Just for the
We'll have
brand.
2 locations.
Brand awareness.
So good. Putting it out there in the universe, but also making the plans to get that shit happening.
Oh, dude. You know, new office, new house,
Yep.
moved.
Awesome.
You know what I mean? Going to the US.
Going to the US.
Yeah. Business growing. Things are growing. Things are moving. We're making it happen, man. Gonna get a hat called Making Moves.
Making moves.
Making moves, or make your move, or make a move.
No, making moves. Or
Make
making,
moves?
with an N, making moves.
Bacon?
Bacon.
No, I can't.
We'll do bacon. Me too.
Yeah, no.
Me too.
Anyway, speaking of content, how's your car?
Good.
Not that that's got anything to do with
It's
content.
good.
Apart from the
I
fact that you
enjoy
posted a video of someone pulling a sticker back on your car and 50,000 people watched it.
How fucking funny, dude. It's like, that's so true. And I think I told you about that. It's
Yeah.
like, I just sat in the chair whilst a friend was putting a logo on my new car. I just sat there and recorded him. Put some music in the background and then fucking posted it.
Yeah.
It got more views than the videos I pay you thousands of dollars to produce for me.
Isn't that funny?
It got more views, more content, more engagement, more followers, everything.
Yeah. It's
And it made me think, well, what's different? What's happening with that content that's different from everything else that we've done? But by the way, one of the videos we put up got like 50,000 views. I don't know if you noticed that. I'm going to show you later too. That you guys made, Iggy and Robby. Robby held the microphone.
yeah, it's my role in the business.
And
Microphone holder.
yeah, it's prestige.
Of course.
Someone has to.
It's a gold microphone. So
Why'd we go sideways? Now I forget what I was talking
content,
about. The content.
sticker.
And I think it was, you know how when you have that hook, you want to see what the end result is? I think that's why it got so much engagement, because as he was putting the sticker on, it's like he starts to peel it back. Then people want to stay to the very end to see the whole finished product. Do you know what I mean? It's like one of those posts that are engaging in that regard. So
Like a sense of satisfaction.
Yeah, correct.
seeing
To
it
see the thing
finished.
finished.
Yeah.
To see the thing finished, exactly.
It's
So I
like
think it
those
was a bit
paint
like
ones.
that.
Have you seen those paint ones with the bucket where they put the hole in the bucket?
Yeah,
and
yeah,
throw it?
yeah.
It's like you want to see what the end result looks like.
Yeah.
Or the
Yeah.
carpet cleaning. Have you seen
Carpet
those?
cleaning,
They're
yes,
sick.
exactly
I
right.
almost want to do that.
It's
Just let me
you-
try it once.
You do it with you were saying you watch makeup videos ages ago.
I'm a
It's like-
changed man now.
Well,
I'm a changed man.
Are
I had
ya?
to tell Instagram to reset my algorithm. So I was flooded.
Stop watching.
You know you can reset your algorithm?
I didn't. Can you?
It's a new feature, yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, so you can go and say, hey, like the content I'm seeing is not what I want.
Yeah,
And it
right.
resets the algorithm.
How
You
good
should
for that?
Do you follow the head of Instagram?
The head of Instagram.
Yeah,
I didn't know there was.
There's a guy, I'll share it with you.
What's his
Can't
name?
remember his name. Off the top of
Cameron?
my head. Yeah.
Cameron.
Yeah, that's it. Cameron Instagram. That's
Cameron
his name.
Instagram. Just find it.
Yeah, you can reset your algorithm.
Nice.
So no more makeup videos.
Okay. Well,
For now.
for now, yeah, give it some time.
Okay, but content. The other day, and the reason why I asked you about your car was because I took my car in. So you know you got to take your car in to get the 3,000K checkup.
Have you not done that yet?
I just did it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm way off it too. Like, I don't drive.
Yeah, I'm also at 5,000 Ks.
Oh,
I went way over,
Daredevil.
yeah, I'm just a rebel.
That's it.
Just
They walked in like,
living
whoa.
life on the edge. Anyway, so I took it in, went to Brighton Ford.
Yeah, good.
Okay, pulled up, dropped my car, and they're like, cool. I said, they said I can wait on the phone. He's like, yeah, cool, man. If you go through there, there's a seat in the lounge area. You can have coffee, blah, blah. I was like, all right, cool. So I went, pulled up a laptop, and I'm working. And this is the first thing in the morning, dropped it off like 7:45. And I'm working, and they've got the TV on. Oh, by the way, I'm going to get a TV in the office. Back to what I was saying. TV in the podcast room. Back to what I was saying. TV's on. It's playing the Today Show. Do you ever watch the Today Show? Today Show?
I don't watch it, no.
Have you ever?
Yeah, scrolling.
Anyway, so I'm there and
I haven't woken up at 10:30. Oop, today's show's on. Let's go.
I'm working, and then I'd stop and I'd watch it for a bit, and then I'd do some work and I'd watch it for a bit. And I reckon I consumed, 10 minutes. And I was so taken back by the content of what they were showing. This person stabbed, this flight almost crashed, this storm coming, this, and I'm like,
On the Today Show.
dude, everything was bad. This person got arrested. This is happening. This court case. And I'm like, it's like the world's going to end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like everything is just bad, bad, bad. And I understand why they do it.
Yeah.
I understand the psychology behind it in the sense of, people are more prone to listen to, if you say it's a sunny day tomorrow, no one cares. But if you say, hey, there's a storm coming, everyone cares because we want to
Yeah,
survive.
you're going to get 400 mils of rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, wow.
Dude. And it was like, I think people need to be reminded about how important it is to filter what you consume on a daily basis. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think the importance behind that is you need to stand guard at the door of your mind. Dude, and like, there's people who watch TV regularly. Do you know what I mean? And you do what you want. It's your life. But I think you just need to pay attention to what you're consuming because mainstream media has no interest in providing you content that's going to add value to your life. They want you to watch for as long as possible so they can sell ads.
Yeah.
That's the game. That's
Yeah.
how their business model works. We have eyeballs. People watch what we do. So therefore, advertisers can pay us money to advertise on our platforms because people are looking. Right? That's how Facebook works. That's how Instagram works. That's how all media works, or most media companies. Dude, if I had not been aware, what I said to myself was if I'd just woken up now, if I'd just woken up and I'd been out cold for 15 years or in a coma or something, and this is what I put on, I would think the world was in a really bad place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? All because of the content they're creating. And yeah, I think we need to be super cautious of that. I think you need to look at, what do I spend my time watching on Instagram? What do I spend my time watching on TV? If you watch the Today Show, if you watch the news. When was the last time you watched the news? Dude,
Ages.
fucking horrible. Like horrible. Did you hear about that plane? This was in last month. The plane that had to do the emergency landing in Brisbane?
No?
No?
No.
Apparently brakes locked up as soon as they took off and they couldn't land. They made everyone get into the brace position.
Yeah.
And they had to do an emergency landing in Brisbane.
Really?
I swear
With
to
like
God.
a Qantas plane or something, or Virgin or whatever it is.
They're screaming, everyone's got to be in their emergency, like in the brace position,
Yeah.
grab your ankles or whatever it is.
That's got nothing to do with safety as well, mind you.
What do you mean?
I think I read this thing somewhere, I can't remember how accurate it is, but it's got more to do with
Making
control.
sure.
Yeah, like making sure people don't panic. And, when you're in the brace position, your lungs are compressed. Like, you're all tight and you're less hysterical. Whereas if you're like up and running, oh my God, and people are running.
Really?
Yeah, like it's got like, man, if that plane's going to crash, the fucking brace position is not helping you. Yeah, like you're fucked.
You don't reckon?
Nah, come on.
You
Come
hold that position, you're going to survive?
Come on,
Everyone else is going to get obliterated.
I'm going to smoke a ciggy.
But
once
you're
I've done
going
it.
to... Oh, yeah. So this is it.
That's it.
And just...
Never smoked before,
Punch a
but I'll
dart.
do it.
Yeah.
That's it.
You're like, fuck it.
That's it. Go on.
Last YOLO. YOLO. But yeah, man. So what I wanted to, I guess, chat about today was seeing as, the main focus for a lot of these other people is just capturing your attention in any way they can. I wanted to share some of the positive content that we consume. You know what I mean? And just tell people what we do and what we share and, you know what I mean?
Well, sometimes I need expert opinions.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need positive mindset, amazing advice.
Yeah.
You already know. You already know. So what I do is I'll go on to Spotify and I'll look up $1 Million Days podcast and I will listen to an episode from start to finish.
Yeah. But when you're like up to date,
Yeah.
what else do you consume?
When I'm up to date.
Yeah.
So I'll go back to episode 1.
Yeah. You're like, and I'll start the whole thing again. No, seriously
good-
though. Like
good one.
because you don't consume that. I don't consume it. And I just thought, let's share some of the stuff we do consume and
Well-
what's good content and what, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. First, I actually do listen to podcasts. If it's not my own,
I do as well.
I'll listen to a podcast that will bring me benefit in some way. It could be a mental space. It could be a business space.
Yeah.
It could
So
be somewhere there.
what's
So
the
some
most
of them-
recent podcast you've listened to?
Alex Hormozy is probably the most recent, but I listen to Diary of a CEO. I listen to Chris Williamson's podcast. I listen to, which I haven't listened to Bradley for a long time.
Bradley.
Yeah. He had some all right stuff.
He's changed.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that, and
Yeah.
then I kind of noticed it.
Yeah,
as well.
I don't know if he's changed. Whoever's running his content's changed. He's probably the same dude.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, but
Probably. So they were the main ones that I was listening to. There's a couple of other little ones here and there that I would listen to just on a rare occasion, but predominantly that. So that's one point of focus.
When do you listen to podcasts?
Often when I take my dog for a walk, or if I'm at the gym. I don't mind listening
You
to
listen
podcasts.
to a podcast at the gym?
Yeah, I don't mind listening to it at the gym.
Oh, wow.
Sometimes I listen to music, but I'll happily listen to a podcast at the gym for sure.
I can't do that.
Yeah, like doing two things at once?
No.
That's a myth. No one can multitask. There's no shame in it. Multitasking is a myth for all of you multitaskers out there.
No, that's not it. It's more so I just, like when I'm in the gym, I just want music.
Yeah. More of a motivational thing or just mind off the hard part of what you're doing.
No, just I
Could
don't
be
know.
a habit. Could be just a habit.
It's hard to, if I had to try and put it down to something, I would say it's just a vibe thing. Do you know what I mean? Like in
I
the sense-
reckon if you did a poll and said, would you rather listen to music or a podcast
Most
at the
people
gym?
would say
Most
music.
people would say music. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's more of a, like kind of like a like I've got a playlist called G Up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And it's more about hyping yourself up for the moment. Do you know what I mean? Because you need to exert energy.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to sit there like, oh, that's an interesting fact. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, yeah, I don't know. Kind of, I feel like it just, I've tried
Yeah.
to say like, okay, cool. Like I'll use this time to learn, blah, blah, blah. Like, you know, they said net time, like no extra time.
Yeah.
Time. I'll use this time to do this or do that or listen to an audiobook, but I can't. Like, yeah, I can't.
The other thing I do is read. Speaking of audiobooks, so I'll read as well.
Where do you
get
listen to
positive content.
podcasts? Continue that part.
Where do I listen to it?
Yeah.
Oh,
You said gym?
where and locations. I was like, like platform. No, generally when I walk the dog, gym, and also driving. If I drive somewhere, most of the time it's a podcast that'll be playing. Very rarely radio. Oh, sometimes radio, but very rarely.
Do you listen to audiobooks?
I listen and read at the same time. I still like doing that. So I tend not to just listen to an audiobook because then it's kind of like a podcast anyway. And I find personally, Hormozy actually got me onto this. I listen and read and I feel that I consume a lot more of the content than just reading alone or just listening alone. Because often when I listen to an audiobook, it'd be driving, or again, walking the dog. So I tend to like doing both. But
you don't listen to any to just listen?
Not normally. When I would do that is if I've read the book already and I want to recap and just go over it again. So I've done that with like the 10X rule. I did that. Not that that was a book, but I read that.
Isn't that a book?
No, what's the other one? The 10X Mentor. Sorry.
10X Mentor.
10X Mentor. The 10X
book.
rule. Yeah. Yeah, but that was only audio.
Was it?
Yeah, it wasn't a book. I don't think it was a book. He's got the 10X rule, which is a book, and then he did the 10X Mentor, which I think was just an audio book release.
Great book.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, yeah. Great
So, yeah, it was good.
He's a good person to listen to from a...
Get shit happening point of view. Like,
Yeah,
go
like
do
fire
it.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
like
fucking go.
motivation,
Stop playing
bit of
so
motivation,
small.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so, yeah, books I'll listen to. I'll read as well. That's a place there that I like. They're the main ones. In all
So
honesty.
podcast and reading?
Yep.
You
I
don't
mean, you can watch stuff on YouTube
You watch
as
YouTube?
well. Yeah, a little bit.
Fuck, I
do.
love YouTube.
Yeah, it's a good platform. It's a good platform.
Great platform.
I go to YouTube more for entertainment than education, I think. Like I love watching this guy, Matt Armstrong, just rebuilds cars. Like he buys crashed cars and he rebuilds them from start to finish. Just always like watching stuff like that. What else?
Matt Armstrong?
Yeah. Yeah, he's in the UK. Got millions of followers. Just started off rebuilding an Audi TT that it was his missus and she crashed it. So the insurance company wrote it off. So he goes, "No, fuck you, I'll fix it." So he fixed it, and then one car led to another. Then he started building a Bentley, rebuilding a Bentley, and then Bentley got him to go to their factory and bring the car. Like it was a whole massive brand thing, and he blew up, just from doing something so small like that.
Isn't that sick?
Yeah, it's so cool. That's what I also love about it. The fact that he started off doing something so small, and then it's grown so massively. He gets millions upon millions of views per video, not just subscribers. He's got millions of views per video. And he shows how he does it and what he's done, and it's him and his old man and some friends and all that sort of shit. That's cool. That's cool. I just enjoy watching it. But yeah, other than that, what other positive things could you do? It's more...
Well, what else do you consume? Do you watch Netflix?
Yeah, I watch Netflix. Yeah, from time to time.
What are you watching right now? Let's put you on the spot.
I don't know, man. Do you know what I'm really good at doing at Netflix? Is clicking series to watch, add to my list, and not actually watching anything. That's honestly what I do. I don't fucking know, dude. Like it's like, oh, that's sick. I'm gonna watch that, and never watch it. And then I'll turn it on. I'll flick through, see what's there. I'm like, oh, I'll watch that, and I just never watch it. And I've got the longest my list, but I don't watch fucking anything.
So what's the last thing you watched on Netflix?
Oh man, I think it was this anime series called Arcane.
Arcane.
Yeah. It's meant to be really good. Oh, I don't mind watching cartoons here and there.
Yeah.
Like it's more of an adult cartoon type thing. Not like Bugs Bunny or anything. But I'd watch Bugs Bunny.
When I was a kid, they used to have adult cartoons, like Cartoon Network. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Adult time or whatever it was.
Yeah.
I used to think it was like really rude. I used to think, do you watch, have you ever watched Rick and Morty?
No, I never got into
You've
that.
never watched Rick and Morty?
No, not
Have you
once.
ever watched Rick and Morty? No?
Never got into it.
Dude, sick.
I've heard, it looks all right.
It's very... I can't explain it. You have to watch it.
Family Guy?
Nah, I cannot watch
really?
Family Guy at all.
Yeah, Family Guy. I've seen some episodes of Family Guy. I think it's
No, I'd
absolute
rather watch The Simpsons.
Yeah, Simpsons is old school. Yeah.
I can't watch Family Guy.
Longest running series, I think, of all time.
Yeah, but can't watch Family Guy at all. I cannot. Like, people try and show me clips and I'm like, I do not find that funny. Like, I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's some
but yeah,
lack of connection.
sometimes I'll watch. I can watch stuff like that. See, I get enjoyment out of watching movies. Like I love going to the movies.
Same.
I usually, mate, everyone does. No, I really enjoy going to the movies. Go with my wife. Go with the kids. Go by myself. No, I don't. No, don't go by myself.
Have you been before?
I've never been by myself to the movies. No.
Me either.
No,
but if I
not
liked
once.
movies, I'd go.
Yeah, I couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I'd go. If
but
no one wants to go
I
watch
just
a
don't
movie,
like-
I'd just go do it myself if I had to. If I really wanted to go watch it. I like the experience. You know what it is? I like the audio-visual aspect of it. I enjoy
very
and
cool,
appreciate. I appreciate good quality sound, good quality picture.
And do you like snacks and that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Get popcorn, get choc top,
get a chopped up,
ruin my
get a big
macros.
Coke. Yeah, it's nice.
yeah,
Have a
so
couple of
I enjoy
munchies,
doing
throw
stuff
some
like that.
Maltesers in the popcorn.
But we're talking about not activities. We're talking about content, what you're consuming.
Yes.
Or are you talking about other aspects of that?
No,
too?
I was talking about the content aspect.
Yeah, so
more than
specifically the
anything
content.
else.
I'm not going to get into things I like doing that give me that piece, but yeah, I would say they're the main areas that I consume. You look at Instagram and TikTok, you get both like all those social media platforms, you get both spectrums. You get the negative and you get the positive. But again, it depends what your algorithm is feeding you too.
Yeah,
so I get a
reckon-
lot of business, entrepreneurial, motivation stuff come up too.
I
You
think
get the
it's
occasional girl in a bikini comes up too, but
I think it's very dangerous.
with which?
That
Like the
media
scrolling aspect?
cycle.
Yeah.
In the sense of how much you think the world is like what you consume when it's not.
Yeah. Just what you're being fed.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it's so powerful, man. Like you can watch a particular thing on Instagram and then Instagram will be like, oh, you watched this, I'll show you more. And then all of a sudden now your whole Instagram feed is one thing or two things or three. Dude, my whole Instagram feed is like UFC, sports,
Yeah.
girls, cars.
Yeah.
That's it. Like,
Yeah. And there's so much more out there.
yeah. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, it kind of puts you in a bubble.
Yeah. Absolutely, I would.
And I think it's very dangerous. And then some people are in that bubble with mainstream media, TV,
Oh, without a
because
doubt.
they just consume Channel 9 and Channel 7
Yeah.
and the Today Show.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about yourself? Where do you consume your positive stuff?
Audiobooks, Audible. I think it's the best $17 you can spend a month. Podcasts. I prefer to watch them.
To watch podcasts?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. So like I will put on a podcast while I'm eating. Do you know what I mean? Or sometimes I'll just have it playing in the background while I'm working.
Yeah.
Like if I'm doing stuff where it
Like on
doesn't-
YouTube.
Yeah. So I'll just have my iPad going. They're the main things, man, to be honest. I don't really... And I read.
Yeah, so looking at that, so say you got a person that's consuming the negative stuff. So some people will be like, big deal, man. Fucking shit happens everywhere. I still want to watch it. I like it. I like it. I like watching misery. I like watching bombs go off in another country. I like watching planes having emergency landings. I like hearing about the storms. I like hearing about the disasters, the earthquakes, the volcanoes, the fucking mass shootings. I like it. Like, what do you say to those people? Is it still affecting them in a negative way?
Yes.
They would have to.
That's what...
In a subconscious level,
I
it
put
would,
up a post the other day.
make
I'm
them
like,
pessimistic.
dude, it is impacting you more than you know.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
Even though they enjoy
whether
it.
you think, nah, it's all right, you know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, I think there was a study done and it showed like 53% of what we do is habitual.
Yeah.
In the sense of we don't think about it.
I would have thought it's more than that. 54.
Maybe for some, yeah. But a large portion, regardless of what you do, is habitual. What's driving your habitual patterns? Your unconscious,
Yeah.
right? What is your unconscious doing? It's consuming everything that's happening all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even though when you consciously consume something, you're taking it in a different way to how your unconscious takes it in. And then when you do something without thinking about it, it's your unconscious thinking that you're doing the right thing because of what it's already consumed.
Yeah.
You have zero control of your unconscious. 0. You can't tell it what to do. You can't control it. But it listens to everything.
And you can influence it.
Yeah, because it listens to everything. So if you watch shit content that makes yourself think the world's going to end, it's going to believe that, and your behaviors are going to be based around that. If you watch great content, it makes you think the world's all fucking rainbows and everyone holding hands and singing Kumbaya. It's going to make you believe that. Did you know your brain can't tell the difference between something you've thought and something that's happened?
No, it's a hard concept to wrap your head around a bit.
Why? So if you experience something and then you think about it deeply, your brain has the same reaction.
Okay.
So your brain can't tell what the difference is between.
Well, maybe, people who have psychotic episodes, then that probably explains that as well.
Psychotic episodes.
Well, I'm saying if you think you're seeing ghosts and seeing people, and then your brain can't tell that that's not true.
Why'd your mind go there?
I don't know. Maybe it's the content I'm consuming.
Do you watch ghost stuff?
Nah, I can't be. I get no interest in that stuff.
Yeah, I think it's something that if you want to make a change in your life, it can definitely impact
Start there.
the way you think and feel. And
yeah, and it can lead on to other things too, because a lot of the good stuff you're consuming will influence you maybe to take action. Like we said this before, we've put things. Okay, if you come to me and you're like, hey, we should get an office. I'm like, but then that means change. It means I have to move everything from my office.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like I'm already putting roadblocks up before you've even mentioned.
I love that when people do that. I find it so fascinating.
Yeah, but
because I'm like, you're already coming up with problems.
That's coming down to how you're consuming, like what you're consuming, and how your train of thought goes.
Mm.
You know, I'm like, oh, let's move. Oh, really? It's far. You know, I don't want to go there. I've got to pay more. Fuck, I'm already paying here. Now I have to pay double that. So it's definitely affecting you and your life and everything. And also, here's the thing, and when negative things do come up, if you're consuming good, positive shit, when negative things come up, you can handle it a lot better. You're more resilient to those problems that come up because of how your train of thought is. Your first reaction isn't, I'm going to think about this in a negative way, I'm going to justify, I'm going to attack, I'm going to blame, shame. I'm not going to do any of that stuff. I'm going to take responsibility, I'm going to take accountability, I'm going to be willing to go there and do what I can to get rid of this problem. So it is huge. Whereas if you're consuming that negative content, that's what's going to come up first. And you're not even going to realize that happens. You're not even going to realize that happens. It's just going to be this.
Okay, so if someone wants to change what they're consuming, what would you recommend?
I'd say...
Recommend some books.
Yeah. Well, what I would do first is stopping the negative shit. Like, just stop watching the news. Just don't watch it anymore. When 7 o'clock comes or 5 o'clock, whatever time the news is on, man, just put on something else. Put on YouTube. Watch something else. Listen to music. Do whatever you want to do. Just don't listen to the shit that they're feeding you. Because that's what they want. Like, they've pre-planned what they're going to tell you. You know?
Yeah.
They're going to do this, and this. This will fuck them up good. You know? You don't need the news for the weather. You have apps for that. Okay, you don't. Once upon a time, you used to have to. What's the weather tomorrow? Oh, we're going to wait till 5 o'clock.
Yeah,
and see
5 to
what the weather
6
is tomorrow. See the 7-day forecast and write it down in my diary. Oh, it's hot on Sunday. And then Sunday comes, it's 23 and showers, thunderstorms.
That wasn't that long ago.
Wasn't that long ago.
That was like 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah, I'd say. When did the first iPhone come out? I remember.
2000.
I reckon it's 2009.
The first iPhone.
I think so.
You reckon?
Hey Siri, when did the first iPhone come out?
2007. The iPhone 3G.
Yeah, I remember someone in my office got it, but that was 2009 when he got it. Anyway, but yeah, start with stopping the shit that you're watching, and then the next step would be to start to look at places where you consume.
They never made an iPhone 1, huh?
What did it start with?
3.
Huh?
3.
Is it iPhone 3?
It was 3G because that was the whole internet thing.
Oh.
And then 3GS with the white back.
Oh, game changer.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
And then
Game
the
changer.
fall,
And now what have you got? 16.
This is
you got a
16.
16. Must be nice.
I don't fuck around.
I got a 16 too. But I think mine's bigger than yours. At the max.
Size.
At the max. Don't fuck around. Yeah. Or it could mean for some people deleting the apps off your phone. You did that recently? You still do that? Like delete the Instagram
Oh yeah,
apps?
I don't have Instagram on my phone
Yeah.
right now.
So good.
Yeah, I don't have any.
If that, because it can be a negative thing. It can be that the actual habitual action of you scrolling could be a negative
well,
thing.
dude, how
not
many
just
times-
you might be consuming great content,
Yeah.
but you're so ingrained in what you're doing that you're here scrolling, looking through all this positive content, and you're ignoring your kids.
Do you ever find yourself, you pick up your phone to do something,
Yep.
and then you're on Instagram,
Yep.
and then you put
Yes,
your phone
happened
down,
plenty of times.
and then you go back to the computer, and then you're
What
like,
the fuck was I doing?
oh, I needed the thing on my phone. And you're like, man, what a vicious 7-minute cycle.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? I went to my phone to do this one because I needed a calculator
phone
or a
number or
photo or
whatever.
something. Yeah, I went to do or send that text.
Yeah.
And I went to my phone and got distracted, went straight onto Instagram, scrolled, realized what am I doing, put my phone down,
Yeah.
went back to this and realized I picked up my phone to do that thing and I haven't done it yet.
Yeah.
It's a
Fun.
vicious cycle, dude.
100%.
That's why I delete it, because then I can't do that. And I have nothing to do on my phone. Like, I jump on my phone. I use Blinkist. Have you ever used Blinkist?
No.
I got Blinkist
Never.
recently, which is like book summaries.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it sounds like a book summary in 20 minutes.
Yeah, right.
And you can listen to it.
Yeah, I've never heard of it. Well, that's a good starting point if you're not a big reader or don't want to sit there for 4 or 5 hours listening to a whole book or 2 hours.
Yeah, but I think if you see the... you're not supposed to sit there and listen to the whole book.
In one
Imagine
sitting.
that. Yeah, imagine that. I'm going to sit here for 8 hours and just pump this book out.
Well, we might be driving to Adelaide soon.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just listen to a whole book, a couple books on the way up.
You reckon?
Not talk to each other,
Yeah.
obviously.
God forbid. Do a
Fuck.
podcast in the car.
That would be sick.
We can do it.
Do you think this is a game? We'll get the phones out. We'll have 2 phones either side. So we'll mount them to the car,
To the
windscreen,
pillar.
and then just start talking.
Well,
Could happen. What an episode.
it's going to happen.
8-hour episode.
It's going to happen.
Boom.
4 episodes on the way, 4 on the way back.
What, 2-hour long episodes? Okay.
That'll give you some good content to
That'd be
consume.
amazing content to consume.
Any book recommendations you'd like to make? We had someone ask about this quite some time ago.
Yeah.
And
I
they
mean,
said,
it depends
are the
what you
top
want
5
in your
books?
life at that given moment,
Yeah,
doesn't it?
so what's been the top 5 books you've read? Or thereabouts.
I liked
5 impactful books.
I liked your Next 5 Moves, Patrick Bet David.
Yep.
I like that one. An easy read. I didn't mind Ikigai. It was a really easy read. It didn't change my life, but I think if you're in that sort of space,
Was that with
where
the
you need
blue
to do-
cover?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. That book opened my eyes up to longevity.
yeah. That's right. And the things that you're doing, like, do you know what it is? What I got the most out of that is that's how important, or just stress is such a big killer in people's lives. I reckon being stressed and having that constant level of stress, you know.
Fun fact.
Oh,
Did you know that stress will kill you if you think it will kill you? But if you think stress will not harm you at all, no amount of stress will do anything to you.
yeah. So it's all
Stress-
it's all in your mind, isn't
Yeah,
it?
there was a study done on what was the I can't remember what the book was, but they found that the people who believed that stress was bad for you were actually harmed by stress, and the people who didn't believe it was bad for you had no consequences from being stressed at all.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So it's like it's all in your head.
It is 100%. It is.
Yeah,
Because what's good for you, it's not necessarily good for someone else.
heavily placebo based.
Yep. There was another book I read quite some time ago called Primal Blueprint, and it was all about like just your healthy eating, healthy body, exercise, all that sort of stuff. That was really good for your fitness perspective. 10X rule, I think, is a good starting point as well for a lot of people. I think the 10X rule is actually excellent. If you're going to start and you want to be in that business space, good place to start. Easy read.
10x Mentor's good too.
Yeah, the flow on of that, the 10x Mentor. Who else? I think they're probably my top 5 at this stage.
Top 5?
Yeah. What about yourself?
I'm going to say $100 million leads and $100 million offers.
Yeah.
I think a big...
Yeah,
Big
they
one.
would be in that list too.
Yeah, I think they're...
I've actually only read which is the first one? Offers.
Offers.
Yeah, I've only read the first one. I haven't read the second one.
You've never read Leads?
No.
Oh, dude, give it a squiz.
I think I've started listening to it.
It's a great book.
Yeah.
Great book. Let me find... I've got a list here.
Me too. I'm just looking at my list. I'm going to add to it now if you tell me what I don't have here.
Let me get this up here. So what have I read this year? I'm a fan of reading biographies, which I mentioned.
I haven't
in the
gotten
last
into
episode.
that.
Give it a what? You got to like
got
the person,
Arnold
or you got to have
Schwarzenegger's
some
book.
level of respect for the person.
Yeah, I've got Arnold Schwarzenegger's book.
That's not
online,
about
I
his
think.
life.
Oh, isn't it? It's
That's
just-
his book.
Yeah,
he's,
is it?
he's written a book. Yeah.
Okay. Be Useful or something, I think it's called. Something like that. Schwarzenegger's book. Got it inside.
Yeah, it was recommended to me, but I haven't read it.
Yeah.
I think The Diary of a CEO.
Yeah,
Read a
you
book
said
called
that.
The 33 Laws of Life and Business or something like that.
Yeah.
Great book.
I almost bought that the other day.
Great book. Like really, really, really good. I like books that can be broken down into
Yeah.
practical things.
Yeah.
And these books, the books like The 48 Laws of Power by
Yeah, I've
Robert
got
Greene, it gives you one law at a time and the law's not related to the next one. If you want to jump in and read Law 27 first, which you haven't read yet, I know.
No.
But if you want to jump in and read Law 27 first, you can because it's not related to Law 26 or Law 28.
Yeah.
They're all different. It's like, hey, man, here's 48 tools. Pick whichever one you want. You know what I mean? I thought that was really cool. So The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. I think Think and Grow Rich is a great book.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think that's a really good book. I think Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. Have you read that?
No.
Oh, you should read it too.
Yeah. Man's Search for Meaning.
Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. So he was
Man's? M-A-N-S?
Yeah, like male.
Yeah.
Like XY chromosomes.
That's not right.
Isn't it? I don't
That's
know.
offensive.
Sorry if you're offended from the sound I just
Man's
made.
Search for Meaning.
Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl.
Yeah, it's a good book.
Great book. That's all I can think of off the top of my head, to be completely honest, from the ones I've read this year.
You like books with stories? Like it's written in a story?
Yeah, have you read the 5 a.m. Club?
No, I've got that. I was going to read that this year.
Yeah.
I've got it there. The Go-Givers like that.
Yeah, the Go-Givers like that, yeah.
The Richest Man in Babylon
Haven't
is
read
like
it.
that.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's a good money about wealth and understanding wealth, but it's told in the sense of a story. So it's not like groundbreaking, but this is the thing, right? If you're starting at zero, you read some of these books, you're like, whoa, what the fuck?
Dude,
I didn't know that.
I read a book. This was the second book I ever read. It was called Who Says You Can't? You Do.
Yeah.
By a guy called Daniel Chidiac. Melbourne-based author.
Yeah, cool.
The book came recommended from the most strangest place. But I just saw it and I was like, yeah, sure. Like you know what I mean? I'd
Give it
read
a
one
crack.
book before that. And it was How to Win Friends and Influence People. And dude, this book blew me away. And it was like, I look back at it now and it's like, it's quite basic. But at the time, it wasn't basic to me. I didn't know that. And I'll share something that he shares in the book that I thought was really cool. And it was around the whole concept of gratitude. Right? And he says, when was the last time, like, you got to actively practice gratitude, right? And he's like, if I gave you $10,000, if I gave you $10,000 right now, cash, would you say thank you?
Yeah. So I should probably say, what's this for?
Oh, yeah, it's yours.
Yeah. Oh, thanks.
Yeah, everyone would say thanks. Well, of course I'd say thanks. 10 grand, 100% I'd say thanks. He's like, okay, cool. So what if I said, here's 10 grand, but I'm going to take your arm? Oh, no, I wouldn't do that. Oh, so your arm's worth more than 10 grand? Yeah, of course. When was the last time you said thank you that I have an arm? Oh, fuck. Never thought about that.
Yeah, well, it's when you go real micro with your gratitude.
Yeah, like started the and I was like, holy shit, I've never been thankful that I've got two arms. Do you know what I mean? People complain, oh, I don't have the hair I want. It's like, dude. Like,
Yeah, but here's the other thing. We are inherently ungrateful beings. Fucking second time you've done that. It's going for a walk. People know he's bumped his water a couple
I'm
times.
just making sure it's
It's keeping me on my toes.
getting next to
But we are inherently ungrateful beings, right? Because we've got an easy life. We're not in a war-torn country. We don't have to go hunt for our food. We can easily drive anywhere we want most of the time, or within a few minutes get transportation to wherever we want to go.
Yeah.
We're not starving. We're not thirsty.
You don't have to worry about
Right.
where your next meal's coming from.
That's it. You're generally in a pretty safe time period of human history.
What a
And
time
for
to
that-
be alive, by
yeah,
the way.
and for that reason, like we're not in one of those. What's a war-stricken country at the moment?
Palestine.
Palestine. We're not there. Okay, you don't have to sit there. I'm so grateful that my family's in the same room as me. Okay, whereas I'm sure a lot of those people would be like, I would give anything to be anywhere other than right here, right now. You know,
Anything.
I'll take my arm, and as long as my family's safe, take it. I don't need it. Right. So this is what I mean. So we're inherently ungrateful. It's not, and it's often where people say it's not. You don't know what you have until it's gone. So by practicing gratitude on a regular basis, like a daily practice, whatever it might be, morning, afternoon, during the day, practice it. It's a really powerful tool to shift your mindset for sure. You know, you're saying your subconscious is consuming what you're hearing and seeing. That's a great way to reprogram it.
It is because it's like, oh, yeah, no, I'm thankful. Like, I'm
Yeah.
safe. Okay, cool. Yeah. Like,
But even being grateful for the difficulties in your life. It's like last year you were talking about you had a flat tire and you're losing your mind. Or was it flat battery?
flat battery.
The flat battery. And you're
But
losing your
fucking-
mind. You couldn't jump start it and everyone was cracking it and you had 4 people drive past. You're waving a 50 in the air. And it's like, fuck, you have a car.
What a story, huh?
You have a car that you can have a flat battery on. All right, go tell that to a person in the cancer ward that's terminally ill, that's dying next week.
You want to laugh? By the time this airs, I will have lived in 2 different places from when that happened.
Yeah, there you go.
That's how long this podcast has been going.
Yep. Effect and change.
Yeah, that was a great story, though. It was a great lesson for me.
It's funny because not long after that, probably a couple months, I had a similar issue with my car. And I laughed at that lesson because you had said it and I experienced the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, poor me. My car, my $100,000 car is broken down.
Yeah.
You know, I've got to get it towed to the dealership so they
Yeah.
can tell me it's going to cost me $1,800 to fix. All right, poor me. You know, it's okay. Another great thing. We're going to Vegas this year, as we mentioned. I was speaking to, it was you yesterday. We're sitting down and I'm looking at it. I'm like, fuck. During the time we've booked to go to Vegas, I've booked corporate seats for 15 people at the F1 over the 3 days. And I'm like, fuck. Like, how's this happening?
You're double booked,
I'm
yeah.
double booked. All right. And then I had to reframe. I go, look at me, complaining.
Yeah.
Because
US,
I have to get on my
Vegas.
business trip to Vegas during the same time that the F1 Grand Prix is on, that I have bought corporate tickets for myself and clients and VIPs. Tough life.
First world problem.
First world problems. That's right.
It's
You know,
still
so how's
problems.
that? Yeah, it's a problem. Every problem is relevant at the moment that's happening. Okay.
Yeah,
And-
that's a really good.
but it's so
statement,
true.
'cause no matter how big or small your problems are real to you, right?
Yeah, it's real to you right there,
Yeah.
right now. Like, okay, you're
Like,
locked.
yeah.
Your car battery is flat. Yes, it's fucking annoying. Right? I don't want to spend $500 on a new battery. I don't want to spend, $1,800 getting my car fixed, or I don't want to spend. You said you got locked out of your house. $500 he charged you to come open up the door. All right, it's
Like, you
annoying.
remember, huh?
It's annoying. Don't forget. I watch all the episodes.
That was right after I built the summit.
Yeah, was it?
Yeah.
How funny. So all of these things are annoyances in your life. But when you have clarity and you're in a good mental space, you always reframe it and go, yeah, but how good is it that I got 2 arms? How good is it that I can breathe unassisted? How good is it that I saw my mum today? How good is it that I got to walk my dog,
Yeah, and I think you put yourself in that space by controlling your environment and what you consume.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Who you spend time with, what
you know
you
the
consume.
You know, the funny thing, I often look sick. This podcast is sick. How are you not subscribed? If you're listening and you are not subscribed and you want to change your life, fucking just do it right now.
Yeah.
Just hit that button.
If you're watching this, tell us what we have to do to get you to subscribe.
Yeah.
Put a comment. Yeah,
put a comment down below.
Us, and we might do it.
Might do it.
We might tell you to
Could
get
change
fucked.
your life.
We might tell you to get fucked. We might do it. See how I feel.
That's right. We might like your idea and still tell you to get fucked.
But, you know, for everyone listening, we're grateful for you.
That's right.
This wouldn't exist without you.
That's it. So late last year, I did a training with my mentees in my program. And we went away to Brisbane for 3 days and we were focused on life and vitality. Okay. And we're talking about a whole range of things like mindset, resilience, gratitude, leadership, setting goals, a whole range of stuff, like awesome training. It's actually one of my favorite trainings that I do. And the funny thing is I came to a realization halfway through the training. And I'm like, guys, you know, I'm sitting up here and I get it. It seems like I'm a motivational speaker and, you know, I'm really inspiring you to create the change in your life and all this sort of stuff. And like, wow, how does George know all these things? And he's such a great, amazing person. And it came to the realization that a lot of what I'm teaching came from my own shortcomings and challenges and self-talk. So self-talk to myself. It's like when I'm teaching you about resilience, I'm not talking to you to teach you about resilience, I'm talking to me. It's like, no, George, you need to go through these difficult things in your life because it's going to build the character that you need in your life to have those things that you want. You know, I've openly said here, like, I want to have a garage full of supercars. Okay, well, how do you think you're going to get that? Do you think it just like, bang, there's the supercars? No, you're probably going to have to work really, really hard and have some really, really big problems and difficulties and challenges to be able to experience having a garage full of supercars. You want the best relationship with your partner, with your kids. Well, maybe you're going to have to experience some really difficult relationship challenges with your partner, with your kids, with your family, in order for you to have the absolute best relationship with them. Maybe it means you go through a scare with one of them, you know? They're in a bad car accident, nearly die. They're diagnosed with a sickness. You're diagnosed with a sickness. But because of that, it forces you to have that change in your life, like that perturbation. It's an external irritation that irritates you so much that it forces you to grow and change.
Dude, do you know how many people I've heard say they got sick, like they got cancer or something, they got better, and then they label that as it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Because I woke up, because I realized what mattered.
Yes.
You know, it's a poorly wrapped gift or whatever.
It is, yeah. Well, without a doubt. And it's a shame some people have to wait for that moment to happen.
Hey, you know what's more of a shame? The people who don't get that moment.
Yeah, exactly. They go through the
Some
whole
people
life.
don't get the wake-up call. Some people don't get the, hey, we're here. You know what I mean?
don't
Wake the
forget.
fuck up. Some people just, boom, done. It's one and done.
That's
and then,
it, one and done. You know?
And that's the shame.
Yeah. You know, Andrew Tate said it a little while ago. He's like, you know, if you because he'll sit there and openly say there's no such thing as depression and all this sort of shit. He goes, if you're fucking depressed, go to a cancer ward, speak to someone terminally ill. If they feel sorry for you and your problems, then you have the right.
If you can convince them, yeah.
If you can convince that person of your problems and that they're difficult and they're hard and your life is fucked, then you have the right to be
Dude,
fucking.
I truly, I believe that to some degree because I think it's a boredom thing. Not in the sense of I'm bored, I'm going to pretend. Like it's more so like your mind doesn't know what to do when everything's okay.
Yeah.
So you kind of...
Is it also a purpose-driven thing too?
Like you have no direction?
Yeah.
Yes, for some people, I believe so.
I think it would be.
You need to be
definitely be contributing.
You need to be working towards something. I believe, like that's how I've. Reflection's the greatest thing in the world because when you want to look back, you learn from your less. Like you learn when you look back, right? So if you look back at what you've done in the past, you'll learn from that. And when I look back at, when I've been the happiest or the most driven, I generally had something I was working towards.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I believe that's. Not everyone, but probably most people need some, hey, this is why. Because what the fuck are we doing here? Do you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing here, really? No one knows.
There's a whole bunch of nothing. There's a little bit of your life, then there's a whole bunch of nothing after.
Did you share? So did you watch that podcast I shared with you? The the Diary of a CEO one where they talk about what are we doing here? Like the aliens?
I
What's
watched
the
that
thing? They look back at the universe
I
and
don't
they
even
can
remember you sending
see.
it to me. I'll check it out.
I was talking to you about it when you were going to. It was a few weeks back.
Okay.
Anyway, yeah, like what are we doing here? You know what I mean? And I think you just need it's almost like a distraction from that. You know what I mean? Which is what purpose is, or beliefs, or religion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like this is religion's purpose, dude. This is why you're here.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean?
That's right. I think it's definitely important to have that, without a doubt. I mean, it is for me anyway. And you're right. The biggest change for me came, and I always say it at events, at people, when I'm coaching, mentoring, I always say it's like the biggest change for me when I got punched in the face was during those 3-4 years of COVID. It was a wake-up call.
3-4 years?
Well, it wasn't just the time of COVID, it was the aftermath for me as well. Like I needed to recover post that, because we went from having plenty of money to having hardly any money in the business, and then having to rebuild that whole wealth stream and success and everything that followed, and having the resilience to go through that personally, professionally, all those elements. And I needed that. Like I genuinely feel that was the knock I needed on the door to appreciate the things I have in my life, to appreciate the challenges, to know that going through something like that, coming out the other end and still being strong, resilient, and all the best. Like that was a great lesson for me to know that, you can handle a lot of shit. People might look at other entrepreneurs or people that are really wealthy or think they've got their lives together. Like Elon Musk says it, like not many of you could do what I do. I could give you
He says, you don't want to be me.
Yeah, you don't want to. Like you don't know
you
the
might
battles.
Think,
you might think
you want to. He's like, but you don't.
Yeah, and I feel that way about my life. Some people might look at it and go, "Oh, wow, you're so lucky." I get people to say that all the time. It's like, "Oh man, you're so lucky. Like you've done so well. I could only hope to be like you. I want to do these things that you're doing." So you don't know it. You don't know what it takes to be here. Not everyone can do it. I'm sure a lot of people could. I'm sure a lot of people could even go further, but not everyone can do it.
Do you ever look at anyone? Did you ever look at people and think, like, oh yeah, they've made it, and now you don't look at them like that anymore? Like in the sense of maybe you've passed them. Like
back in the day, yeah.
I can think of people when I look at them, I think, oh man, like that's the like one that springs to mind was when I was a first year apprentice, and I remember the service manager saying these specific words. I didn't sleep last night. I was up all night trying to work out how we're going to fix so-and-so problem, blah, blah, blah. And I remember thinking, man, this guy's the service manager of Mercedes-Benz. Like, wow, this guy's made it. He's made it. Do you know what I mean? Like, wow.
Now you're dropping off your Merc for him to service.
Yeah. Dude, and it's like, I don't look at that. I used to think if I ever got to that position, I'd made it. And I don't look at that. It's like the bar moves.
Yeah, it does. It does, without a doubt.
Do you know what I mean? The bar moves. Like there's people I used to, did you just lower your chair? The people I used to look at that were like, oh, wow. And then it's like, oh, like, no, not so much anymore. It's like, we'll probably pass you.
Yeah. I can't think specifically of anyone like that. I'm sure there's been moments in my life where it's happened. And, my next hurdle is like, I look at, say, people that are worth, I had an ex-business partner and one of my dad's friends. They're still friends today. But the guy was worth $500 million.
Yep.
Sometimes it's really hard to conceive that like, well, $500 million, like 500 million. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you
Having
still
that
can't
sort of coin.
fathom how much money that is.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And it's like, well, what does it like I could build for the next 5 years and probably not hit that target of 500 mil. So what's it take to get to that level of success?
What did he do?
What did he do? I mean, I won't say actually. He was in business, definitely for himself, and he made some strategic moves that helped him significantly. And funny enough, he did it during the 2008 GFC. He made strategic moves. He had the resources behind him, and that's what made him a multi-millionaire during that time. And then from there, his company grew, listed on the stock exchange, and just went from strength to strength. Yeah. And then just, once he had the money and the opportunities, he just kept making more money. But I do not wish for his life. I need to make that really clear. I'm not going to give too much away, but he had something happen to him that I would not ever wish upon my worst enemy. You know what I mean? And I don't wish for that life. But but I look at from that level of business success, I'm like, what's it take to get there? Is it there? Is it a possibility? Is it in the realm of existence for us? I think about that a lot. I still feel that we're in one of the years. Like I'm in one of the years getting to that level. But when does it happen?
Yeah, I also think we grossly underestimate how much it takes to get there.
Yeah, I concur.
You know what I mean? We think like, oh yeah, nah, just gotta, and it's like, nah, it's way more. But also, I think the naivety is a good thing because it allows you to take that next step. Because if you knew it was 1,000 steps, you wouldn't take the first one. But when you think it's 30 and then you're 107 steps in, you're like, I'm almost there.
Yeah.
And you're like 10% of the way.
Yeah, well, I heard this saying, it's like you're 30 ways away, you're 30 no's away from $1 million. All right, so you've got to hear no 30 times before you get $1 million. So a lot of people get discouraged when they hear no, or whether they hear stop, or whether they hear you can't do that. They get discouraged and it's like, oh yeah, you're right. You'll never have a top 10 podcast. Oh, okay. All right, but you've got to hear that 30 times. You're 30 no's away. So every no that you get, you're just one step closer to your goal, which I liked. I like that saying.
Fail fast.
Yeah, that's right. Like go out there, get shit happening. You're going to make a move. It might work out. It might not. Gets on to the next no,
Make moves.
That's it.
Making moves.
Making moves. So yeah, start consuming some good content. Start thinking positive things. Start practicing gratitude. Surrounding yourself with the right people is important as well.
Massive.
But we're talking about content, but you'll start to hang out in different circles because...
Dude, content... We talk about content because it's consumption.
Yeah.
You consume the thoughts, words, energy, beliefs of the people all around you.
Yeah, that's right. So then look at how your circle is going to change after that, because mine definitely did.
Yeah.
Mine definitely did and has over the years. Like I don't hang out with a lot of people. It's funny, like I was always a very social person growing up. In my early 20s, I couldn't tell you how many friends I had. I thought I had hundreds, being serious. Like I would have had like 50 friends. I'd be like, yeah, there's all my close friends. We're all close. We're all mates, And it's funny. It's like you'll get married, your priorities change. You see what else becomes important. That halves. And then you go again. You're like, okay, what are these? They're still going out. You're 30 years old. You're still clubbing hard and drugs and drinking. And you're still 40. You still can't wait. You can't wait to get away from your kids so you can go out and get smashed and hang out with the boys or girls or whatever you want to do, really. So then you just grow apart from those people. You stop hanging out, you stop associating, and then you drift apart. But then I find that the quality of people that are around and left in your life still is a powerful thing.
I think that mindset, like that YOLO, you know how people say,
yeah.
Oh man, like, you got to do it now. Like, what if you die tomorrow, blah, blah, blah. All that, get the car now, all that shit. Go on the holiday, blah blah. That can keep you broke too.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you're not willing to sacrifice that 2 years, that 3 years, that take a step back. Living below your means.
Yep.
That can massively impact,
without a doubt,
your trajectory and stop you from getting to $500 million. It's billion with a B.
The B. Yeah, so I found I think I was very extroverted when I was younger, and now I'm actually more introverted. Like I don't want to use my energy on people that I don't feel are going to fill my cup. And I feel that it's a little bit harder for me to connect with people these days, and my wife was telling me off about it. She's like, oh, you used to be so fun and everyone would come, you'd be the life of the party and all that sort of stuff. I said, yeah, but now I don't feel the need to waste my energy on people that are just either there to use me or, like what for? I just want to focus on the people that I think will bring value to me in my life.
So there's
everyone else around me.
So there's a new term called ambivert.
Ambivert.
It's most people. So what It says a person who has a balance of extrovert and introvert features in their personality.
Yeah, I think I'm like
So
that.
what it means is that if you meet somebody that you do not like, and then you will exhaust your social like energy.
Yeah.
But if there's somebody who you actually connect with, you get more social energy. Like if you meet Robby,
Yes.
you'll have more energy. But if you meet somebody who's like shit,
You get less energy. Yeah, and I think that's where I'm at now as well. Because it's like, I don't know, I'll meet a mum and a dad from the school, you know, and it's like, sometimes I feel the connections aren't there, and it's like I'm just there making small talk, not having genuine.
I hate
I know,
small talk,
me
dude,
too.
so
And it's
much.
Like, oh, what do you do with his? I'm an entrepreneur.
Don't you tell them?
No, I'm a firefighter. Just put out spot fires all day.
That's what I always say.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying to Iggy the other day. You know what he's doing? I'm like firefighting.
Firefighting.
He's like,
He's from Mongolia. He's quite literal.
They don't have
You would have
firefighters.
thought they don't have fires there.
it's minus 40 degrees. So you can't have fire.
Can't have fire. It's not. It just won't happen.
Yeah, small talk.
Yeah, it's like again filling my cup. I'm sitting there and it's like, but it's also I find that it might take 2-3 times before I'll actually connect. Do you know what I mean? Like I know a couple of the dads, like every time say, "Oh, what's news? Yeah, how's work going? Yeah, it's good." You know, it's always the same fucking thing. Like ask me what my fucking favorite color is, bloke. Like do something different.
What's your favorite color?
I don't know. Green. Like
Green?
Green's a nice color.
Purple.
What's your favorite color?
Secret.
My favorite color is actually red
Why?
because that's what color the subscribe button is.
Hey. Didn't see that one coming. That is what color the subscribe
It
button
is,
on
and
YouTube
that's what
anyway.
you should be hitting if you're listening to these words coming out of my mouth. It means you're listening, but you may not be subscribed. So you can subscribe on YouTube, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok, on all of those channels, everywhere.
You should do it all.
Spotify,
It doesn't count unless you do them
Apple.
all.
Yeah,
It doesn't.
I'd be offended if you didn't, and you don't want to offend me because it would be offensive. Well,
Is that,
How fun.
is that what you just said? You don't want to offend me because it'll be offensive.
It will be.
And then there's repercussions.
Repercussions for that. You won't improve your life, and I'll be offended by that.
Control what
sick.
you consume.
Control what you consume, and you should consume a lot more of this.
There's actually a very good question to ask when you're meeting somebody.
Please, I'll
That
ask it
is-
next time I meet someone.
Yeah. What is the most relatable character, like movie character, that is to you right now?
Yeah, but if I just met a bloke, like, g'day mate, how are you? You well?
Good, yeah, good.
Just, what's the most relatable movie character? So you'll flip first of all because you're like, oh yeah, I don't fucking watch movies.
Nah, I'd be like Terminator 2. Terminator 2. Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's
Yeah,
me.
that's him. Yeah, interesting.
That's- yeah,
Why
without
did you
a doubt.
pick him?
That plus combination of Batman and Superman.
Yeah, why'd you pick them?
Because I'm the greatest.
Yeah,
Because, yeah, it's a very detailed.
I get it. It opens up the conversation. It's a little bit lighthearted.
But curious, who would you say? if
Who would I
asked you that
say?
question?
Who do you relate to? Gandalf,
Okay.
Lord of the Rings.
Because you're fighting
Because I'm-
Balrog?
no, it's because I'm
Balrog's a big ass fire.
Old and fucking 40. That's why.
Gandalf.
I'm old.
Wow. Who would you
I
say?
need a walking stick.
Who would you say?
Whiplash, the main character of Whiplash.
See, look, I can't relate to any of that. So I wouldn't ask that question. But what I do like to ask people is if we're having a conversation, small talk is meant to fill the gap.
Yeah.
I'd rather just be silent. But if you're having a proper conversation with someone, one of my favorite questions to ask is, what's your most favorite thing to do in the world? Because then you learn something that's actually valuable about that person. And you see how self-aware they are. Because if they're like,
Yeah.
not much, Netflix. You're like,
But often some people might brighten up by hearing that too. Like, oh,
yeah,
Most favorite
it
thing.
takes it controls your focus into a positive way.
Yeah.
It's like saying, what are you most excited about right now? And you're like, oh, what am I most excited about right now?
yeah.
Fuck, I'm
Change
excited
the
about some
focus.
shit right now.
Changes the focus.
Yeah.
Changes the focus from a negative outlook to a positive one. You haven't asked them what's the worst thing. Or, how are you? Yeah, I'm okay.
Or do you have any worries at the moment?
Yeah. Do you have any worries at the moment?
Yeah.
Anything to keep
What's
you
your
up at
biggest
night?
concern? Yeah. What's
Yeah.
your biggest concern right now? Sounds like a therapy session.
All the questions I'll end with right now.
Yeah, because I
Did you
want.
just ask them?
Yeah, because I want them to focus on the present moment.
Yeah. Not over the last 4 years, not in the future.
It's all on purpose.
What do you
Everything.
do? Is the worst
do you
question
do?
you can ask. So what do you do?
Some stuff.
I'll just say sick shit.
Yeah,
Sick
sick
shit.
shit.
You wouldn't want to know. It'll
Yeah.
blow your tiny mind.
I don't even tell people that I own an agency. I
know
say
what?
I work in an agency.
I'm just going to say I'm a podcaster from now on.
Yeah,
Yeah, fucking oath. What do you do? I'm a professional podcaster.
professional.
That's it.
By day or by night? But
By both.
yeah, at sunset.
Anyway, guys, I hope you're having $1 million day. We are still at the start of the year.
I hope
we
you
are still
purchased
doing
some
sick
merch.
shit. I hope you've purchased some merch. You can buy a hat in grey, beige, blue, or black.
Not beige.
Maroon.
Yeah.
Sorry, not beige. Beige is not available. If everyone wants a beige hat,
We can probably get beige.
we could probably get it.
Do
We
you
could
want it
probably
with
get it.
white writing or black writing?
I think. Oh, good question.
That's
Good
the reason I
question.
didn't buy it.
So he's a thinker. He's a thinker. I'd probably go white, just to keep with the theme.
Just to keep all the writings the same.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week. Another episode down on our way to 1,000. See you then.
Bye, everybody.